It's the Weather Xtreme video, the afternoon edition for Tuesday the 17th. I'm James Spann. It's cold today. It's going to be colder Thursday, maybe the coldest weather so far this winter. Maybe a few snowflakes tomorrow morning. And could we have a winter weather mess Friday? Oh, so much to talk about. Let's look at some of the Skycam shots. Boy, that's pretty amazing. We pulled up the Chehaw Skycam. This is at Chehaw State Park. Our camera is on top of the restaurant there. That's Alabama's highest mountain, and you can see the trees are just totally covered in ice. That shot was taken up in the Chocolaca Mountains near Anniston today. Same thing, rime ice all over the place. Hamilton Skycam, high clouds overhead, and coming from Huntsville, a cloudy and very cold day up in the Tennessee Valley. Big trough covers much of the eastern half of the nation, and yeah, man, it's cold. Only in the 20s up in parts of the Tennessee Valley. It's only 26 at Haleyville. We ought to be in the upper 50s this time of the year. Birmingham barely above freezing at 34. And keep in mind, it's going to be even colder on Thursday, so get ready as the second surge of cold air drops in from the north. And about the only warmth in the nation down in South Florida, Miami. They're looking good. They're in the low 80s down there. Sounds pretty good. North of the state, we have winter weather advisories for parts of Kansas, Missouri, northern Arkansas, Kentucky, and some of the adjacent states. That's with this clipper system coming in from the north, and that could squeeze out a little bit of snow tomorrow morning down here, but any accumulating snow should be north of us with this. You can see some 2-inch amounts, 2 and 3-inch totals over Kentucky with this. And this is the overall precipitation, the liquid equivalent for the next 5 days, valid through the weekend, through Sunday evening. And goodness, that's suggesting rain amounts of 2 inches over parts of the Tennessee Valley. But a lot of that's going to be this weekend when it's warmer. The big question is Friday. All right, model fans, the GFS. This is the 12Z run, valid tomorrow at noon. Ridge in the west, trough in the east. Early tomorrow morning, this is 3 a.m. off the HRR model, the HRRR. And you can see that batch of snow showers entering northwest Alabama. Since this is only a 15-hour model, let's switch over to the NAM, the North American Mesoscale model. This is valid at 8 o'clock, and that little batch of snow showers and snow flurries passing through Birmingham. So as you drive to work, it might be snowing a little bit. But again, the moisture is very limited. The impact should be insignificant, although, with snow showers, the heavier ones that might make the ground white in spots, and we'll be watching for surprises with this, but at the moment, we just don't expect any significant impact. Otherwise, the day tomorrow will be mostly cloudy, and we'll say a high in the low 40s. And so those thermal values are still pretty low tomorrow. This is Thursday. A new surge of cold air drops in. We start the day probably in the 10 to 15 degree range. The GFS is printing 12 for Birmingham, then a high of 35. We'll stay below freezing most of the day, but it should be sunny. That'll take a little bit of the edge off and really not too windy. I'll probably have a north breeze at maybe 5 to 10. Look at the anomalies on Thursday, and that's about as cold as it gets for some folks. Look at those anomalies, 40 degrees below average Fahrenheit for some areas north of here. Now, here comes our can of worms on Friday. Southern stream system comes in. This is Friday at noon. And we start today Friday morning, by the way, maybe in the upper teens. The dew points are going to be very low, so evaporative cooling will come into play. And as this thing begins Friday, we'll probably have the classic wintry mix. And we hate to use canned terms, but that's basically what it is. And this is suggesting snow in the blue areas, sleet in the orange areas, and freezing rain in the purple areas. And you can see the freeze line at midday Friday just below Birmingham. And this could be messy. We'll make that call tomorrow morning. The first forecast map we prepare will be tomorrow morning on the Morning Weather Xtreme video. Not ready to do that yet. This is 6 o'clock Friday evening, and if this is right, it's just a nasty mess. The freeze line is near Birmingham with freezing rain, sleet, and some snow. The snow would be over northeast Alabama. But again, remember, the models could trend warmer, just like the deal we had yesterday. This is not carved in stone. And again, this is not a forecast. You're looking at model output. The first forecast graphic will be tomorrow morning. But could there be something significant here? Yes, and I think there will be, no doubt about that. But will it be Nashville, Memphis, Huntsville, Birmingham, Atlanta, or all of those places? This is the North American Mesoscale model, the NAM, just to give you a comparison since now we're within range of that, and it's very similar. This is 3 o'clock Friday afternoon, and it really shows the exact same look, mostly snow and sleet with the freeze line just south of Birmingham. That red line, it's running through Shelby County, so the model consistency here looks pretty good. Could it change? Absolutely, and you know it will change. But for the moment, it looks pretty messy. This is midnight. Now, warm air advection kicks in. Very strong warm air advection coming in from the south, and everything starts to change over to rain, except for northeast Alabama. We've got wedging, cold air damming, and that could make Atlanta very icy Friday night. We could see maybe some significant icing into northeast Alabama with a prolonged period of freezing rain. And then this is Saturday morning at 6 o'clock, and still in northeast Alabama, we've got the wedge fighting the warm air coming in from the south. We've seen this many times over the years. Places like Gadsden and Cedar Bluff and Galesville and Center, Gadsden even, they could stay much colder and still have problems while the rest of the state is warmer and just wet. And that's what this is suggesting Saturday morning at 6, and then Saturday at noon, we go all rain as the warm air wins the battle. We should warm into the 50s on Saturday. Freezing rain likely over into Greenville, South Carolina, where the Bassmasters Classic goes on this weekend. That'll be a big mess. And then Sunday, we're all wet. This is just rain. Again, highs upper 50s. Somebody might touch 60 on Sunday, and a big snow up north, St. Louis and Cleveland. Go to Monday of next week, we are turning colder again, but dry as the highs drop back toward the low 40s, and this is Tuesday, a week from today, just cool and dry. This is the 25th. This is Wednesday of next week. This is suggesting the next potential winter mischief. You've got a 1,002 millibar low in the northern Gulf and a 1042 Arctic high over North Dakota. And we'll see how that plays out. Obviously, we don't know at this point. And this is the end of next week, Friday the 27th. We've still got troughing over the east. That's still a pretty cold look, as you can see, but that looks dry, if that happens to be correct. That's it for the Weather Xtreme video today. We'll have notes in the blog. Next video here by 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. If you can't catch us this evening on the live stream or the television side, ABC 3340 News at 4, 5, 6, and 10 o'clock. Thanks for watching. Have a great evening, and God bless.